Hello everyone and welcome. As always, this is JackB1024. This is episode 5 of our Dynamic Factory. Before we get started with this episode, let's look at what happened between episode 4 and episode 5. Firstly, we extended our science lab section to increase the speed at which we process science vials. Then we extended our power generation, adding a new section to the north of the lake because our bootstrapping base is in the way of further expansions of the old generation area. Then we upgraded all our assembling machines to Mark II and changed a bunch of normal inserters into fast inserters so they can keep up with the machine's demands. Then, to keep up with the increased use of coal in our power generation, we extended our coal mine. Then above the main bus, we created a new copper mine so that we can mine all that copper before our main bus goes over it, and created a transport belt that would take this copper ore to our copper smelting area. We also extended our iron mine and added another row of furnaces to it to increase with iron plate production. And we added a second set of furnaces to our copper smelting area because it wasn't keeping up with the demand for copper plates used in making copper wires. We then added an alarm to our coal line to alert us when our coal supply runs low. To do this, we added green circuit wires to 6 segments of transport belt set to read on hold mode. This signal was then sent to a portable speaker to give us the alarm. To give us the alarm, the portable speaker is set up to show alerts with a coal signal whenever our coal value that we're reading from the belts gets below 10. It will also alert us with the message, coal supply is low. We added a section to our iron smelting area for smelting steel. To do this, we have 2 sections, the top one smelting iron ore into plates, which are then inserted into the second section, which will smelt these iron plates into steel bars. The perfect ratio for iron to steel is a 1-to-1 ratio of furnaces on both simple and expensive recipe mode, as long as the furnaces are the same tier. And finally, we added a single furnace to smelt stone into bricks and handcrafted all the machines we need for today's episode. And now on to today's episode. Today what we are going to do is we're going to go up to our oil deposit, and we're going to put down our pump jacks on it. Bring the oil down to this area, which will be used for oil processing, as well as creating our construction robots, which will help us in building the rest of our dynamic factory. I've already gone ahead and made everything we'll hopefully need for this episode concerning the oil, so let's get straight to it. First thing, we have to run up to the oil deposit through this mess of trees. And I've already run a power line up to it, as well as putting a radar dish up there. But that is it. So once we get up there, it'll be time to start gathering our oil. Actually, I'm going to make another storage tank. So pump jacks, we have 16 of these, which should hopefully be plenty. And I want them to be outputting sort of to this area here. So the ones above that area I'll have facing downwards, unless of course there's going to be another oil well straight below it and it'll be in the way. That one in that direction. I've got only 4 more. And it looks like with 16 of these we would get between 80 and 160 oil per second. Now, if we wanted to create a construction robot every second, we need approximately, let me just quickly check again. I think you need 400 oil every second to do that. So we're not going to be able to do that. We're not going to have the oil to do that, but we will have the production too. So when we do get the oil too, we will be ready to go. So now I'm just going to use some underground pipes just to get all their outputs on about the same level down here. I'll put this one here. Actually, we should free up these 2 slots. We'll put our pipes in there for the moment. Just connect that one up. And that one up. that there. These will come together and we'll put it to there. In fact, we'll connect this one up as well to the same line. There. Okay, that's all of them connected together to this one line. This one over here. Also connected now, and now we'll just connect the last few. And we'll line them up about in line with that. Put it there, just so that we can have the output on that spot. There we go. And just connect all them up. Okay, now I'm going to put a single tank up here, which is why I actually crafted another one. I only just decided to put a tank up here for it. And we'll turn all these on. Oh, and while we're doing this, we might as well do some research. The next thing to research, either logistics 2, so that we can head towards making cars, so we can move around faster, or I was thinking advanced material processing, so that we can get steel furnaces. Which one will I go with first? Probably go logistics 2 first, because we also get red belts, though we won't be using them just yet. Okay, that's all our pump jacks on. Now, I was actually looking at our pollution clouds, and we have actually found some enemy bases down to the southeast, as well as to the northeast just now from this radar here has uncovered them. Hopefully there seems to be a good amount of forest around here, so that should stop our pollution cloud getting to it. As you can see, this pollution cloud here gets stopped by the forest here. So we're actually not in range of them yet. We're going to have to start thinking about those biobases soon, but not just yet. So now we need to pipe all this oil from the oil wells all the way down to our base. I want to try to go around this forest if possible. Yeah, I'm going to actually go this way. Probably to there. And one down. And looking at the map, that should get us around most of the forest, which will be good. Just a little bit left. Okay, let's try to clear out a line in this direction. So we need to get rid of this tree. I'll try to do it where I don't actually need to get rid of too many trees. Okay, and we'll just move it down a little bit. I'll put the other tank here. Now, eventually I want to have pumps, but pumps require yellow electric engines, which we're going to be making today, but we haven't made just yet. So first, let's get on to processing our oil. So I've got 5 oil refineries, and we're going to do the very quick and easy but wasteful basic oil processing. Eventually we'll get around to doing the proper one, but not just yet. I'm trying to remember which of these inputs turns into the water one. I have a feeling it's the right one, but could be incorrect. Well, if it is, then this line is just going to turn into a water line when we go to the advanced mode. Holding it down doesn't work for oil refineries, that's odd. Maybe because I wasn't running from a powered line. I'm sure I'll have a look into that later, see if that is the case. So the way that I like to control the outputs for the oil refineries is that the petroleum gas gets a single pipe, the light fuel gets 2, and the heavy oil gets 3. And then you can just use underground pipes to connect them all together. Okay, so now down here we'll set up 3 tanks, one for petroleum, one for light, and one for heavy. Yeah, we'll put the heavy to there. Okay, so that's our oil processing started and getting processed. Trying to decide if I want to start making these engine units just so I can get pumps right now, or if I want to start processing the oil. But I think now that we've got tanks, we can let that actually fill up those tanks, and we'll get straight into making these engine units. So I actually have plenty of assembling machines. We're going to want 10 of these, all making basic engine units. That way we can get about 1 engine unit every second. It's actually slightly below because these have a crafting speed of 0.75, but who's counting? Should be nice if we could have the larger poles too. Okay, that looks good. So these need to have steel plates, iron gear wheels, and pipes. Now, in the break we made this new steel furnace, which runs off this iron furnace, and that just gets belted all the way up here, so that's easy enough. 1 steel, 1 iron gear, 2 pipes. Okay. Because of that, we'll put our steel pipes on the belts too far away, and that way you can pick it up with the red inserters. Put the red inserter on the top, spot on each assembling machine. I think something else actually takes steel pipes, so I'll only put one of it in and I'll split it. How to get our iron plates, we're actually going to just run this line up. We'll run it across. I believe that should be high enough, yes. And I'm out of transport belt. I didn't actually expect to be out of transport belt, so we'll just pick up a bunch of it. That should hopefully be enough, that's about 800. Now we need at least 1 crafting machine that will be making our pipes. What do we need 2? We need 2 pipes for each engine, and we make a pipe in half a second. Yep, so we actually only need 1 crafting machine for pipes. So I'll just put that up here. Yep, that seems like a good spot for it. Give it a couple of fast inserters, because it needs to get a few items. I'll put it that way. Split off the iron. And this way the iron will take 1/2 and the pipes will take the other half of this belt. And we just run this straight down. Actually, we probably want a fast insert on the output. That looks good. Okay, so the input of all these machines, because they take 10 seconds to run, we can easily just go with a normal inserter. And 10 long-handed inserters. And we'll just have 10 normal inserters on the output. And put that all on one belt. Now these are going to be turned into our electric engine units, the red ones. So we'll group them up and then we'll have a second line here, which will be for those engines. But first let's see how all of our oils are going. Seems to be still going good. Got 14,000 there. Oops. I actually thought you used gears. Okay, so we'll make an assembling machine that'll make gears. Also output it on a fast inserter. We'll get rid of this. And insert it like that. Just clean up all the mess that we made. There we go, gears on one side, pipe on the other. It's 2 pipe and 1 gear wheel. Okay, that should be working fine, and we are actually crafting our engine units now. Now this seems like a good spot to deal with the overflow of our heavy oil and light oil. So because we haven't got blue science yet, we're going to be turning our heavy and our light oil into solid fuel, and we'll be just putting the solid fuel on this coal line, because this coal line just powers, our steam generators, as well as all our furnaces. Let's actually turn off that, so all our furnaces get powered by the same coal line. So if we put our solid fuel on it, we can start powering it with our excess oil. So for this, we need, I calculated 10 chemical plants for our light fuel and 5 for the heavy. So we'll just set that up. This should be a good spot. Actually, I want a gap between each one. Just enough room for our 10. And then we can put the other 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. That goes up to here. Yeah, we'll start it up 1 higher. So start it there. Okay, so these are going to make solid from heavy, solid from light. For some reason it didn't notice my right click. Okay, and so we'll just put it up to a pipe up here. Perfect. Automobile. Ready for making cars and tanks, which will be very useful. So again, we'll just line this one up, put it up to there, and we'll pick up a couple of engines, make some pumps. Okay. So we're going to control these pumps with a quick start condition, and we'll just set it so that if there's more than 20,000 of any particular oil, well, heavy for the heavy, light for the light line, it'll turn on. Okay, that's our heavy and light oil mostly done. We also need to actually deal with our lubricant. And so, lubricant we need, 2 chemical plants for. So, we'll do it this way. And we'll connect this on the side of the pump so that it doesn't actually no matter how much we have, will be pumping to these two. Okay, and they're making our lubricant, which is good. The last thing we have to do, of course, we have to extract the solid fuel and put it onto the coal line. So there's a few ways we could put it onto the coal line. We want to give our solid fuel priority. So one of the ways you could do it is if you have a line like this. So say you have a connection like this, and you got this as your solid fuel. It should get priority over the outside lines, which might be coal, say. It's one way to do it. We could also do it via a very simple circuit network, and that's probably what I'm going to do, just because it's easier to know that it works fine and we don't actually have to test it. So to do that, we'll just simply connect it like that. Have these two belts being red on hold mode. And this belt will be enabled only when everything is 0. So that means as soon as there's an item on one of these two belts, you'll see that stops to give it room to put the item on. I mean, that's a bit inefficient because it means that, you know, our coal line stops moving and there'll be a break. But things as the solid fuel is so much more, gives so much more power than the coal line does anyway, than coal does. It's what, 25 megajoules versus 8, so about 4 times as efficient. That should be fine. Oh, I just realized I didn't place any of these pipes. So now they're all placed, and so that should all work fine. In fact, this line will start being used soon. Okay, so we've got our lubricant. So let's make our red engines. So red engines, electric circuits, engine units, and lubricant. So we've got our engines there. We'll pull our circuits off this line here, and we'll get our lubricant from up here. So let's just... Yeah. Now we give this a fair bit of room so that we can basically pipe the lubricant down a line here and not be in the way of our output belt, which will go on this line here. And I'm out of underground pieces, but that is why I made some extra crafting stations for them. So this might look like a bit of a weird design. I mean, it's very inefficient in how much iron it's being used, but it allows you to easily, you know, walk between these spots. If instead you just had, you know, a line of iron pipes, you can't actually walk through them. Hopefully that doesn't get too annoying, having that there. While with these brakes you can actually walk between them. One more, there we go. Good. So that'll be our line for our green circuits. And that is the line for our engine units. So again, we need another 10 long-handed inserters. Nope, I want you that spot. into normal inserters. So we'll just split this line off. Now I calculated that to get a construction robot every second we need 5 electronic circuits per second. 2, 5, no, we need 7 per second, and we get 2 from here and 2 from here, so that's 4. So we don't actually have enough electronic circuit production to make our robot every second. That's okay, we're actually missing production in a lot of areas, so if we do scale this up, we'll have it. And we will run these, yeah, we'll run these up as well. Okay, we actually need to hook in our lubricant line. So I've done that so that I can easily run between these two machines. I mean, you can do it even with this setup, but because we've only got 2, I think it looks slightly more nice being symmetrical like this. So let's see, no, that's still at only 18,000. Our petroleum gas is actually full. Yeah, okay. So looking at our flying robot frames, we've got our electric engines, we've got our steel plates, we've got our electronic circuits. All we need now are batteries. So batteries are sulfuric acid in iron and with iron and copper. Sulfuric acid is sulfur with iron and water. And sulfur is water and petroleum, which is good because we now actually need to use up our petroleum. I seem to not have the right number. I wanted 10 of these. Let's see. 10, that gets you 20. We need 2 batteries, so we need 80 sulfuric acid for each one of these, so 80 per second. So we need 10 sulfur every second, so we need 5. Oh. Oh, the other ones are to make red chips, that's right. So where's our copper line? It's all the way down there. Okay, that's fine. So we'll set up 5 of them just over here. Which means we will need to run water up to here. But otherwise they just need petroleum and water. So this is done similarly to how we did our oil refineries, where petroleum is on 1 out from the refinery and the water this time is 2 out. Now we can just connect this into our main petroleum line. And all our refineries have turned back on. Okay, next step is to get the water. So we can probably run it up here and across. Yep, that should work. Oh. Okay, it looks like it's going to have to be here. Or we could put it... Yeah, we'll put it there. Just wanted it slightly further out from this coal line here. Trees are still always in our way. What good are trees? I actually have a chest full of wood just from all the trees that I've had to be chopping down. Okay, so that should be all our sulfur crystals being made. Just perfect. Okay, I'm going to need some more circuits. It takes so long to craft that. Mainly the time it takes to make all the copper wires. And we have 10 of these, so actually I'm going to do something a bit strange and put that one there. So what I want to do... Which side are you going to put it on? No, I wanted you to put it on the other side. So what I want to do is I want to get this onto the left side of the belt that's not being used at the moment. Like, we'll do that. That works. Keep it simple. Okay, so with that, we need 2 more chemical plants. Yeah, put it there and there. So with that, we can actually... Yeah, we can do that. And this way, water can go in here and here. Getting our other resources in. Okay, we'll put the other resources in on the left. That'll work. So water is there and there. You just need to connect it to this pipe over here. And now we need iron plates and copper plates. I think that's the right spot. We're getting copper plates up there. Well, you can see, here we go, our solid fuel's already on our line. It'll be a bit spaghetti-ish, but it will get the job done. So I'm going to run it up this way. Run it across here. And do that. That'll leave the copper plate on the right side and the iron plate on the left side. And look at that. Exactly where I wanted it. Okay, there's our sulfuric acid, and we're going to put that into this tank here. Okay, so the sulfuric acid is used to make our batteries. Wait, oh, that just needs iron plate. I made this for the batteries. That's okay, we can use that. Yep, so we need 2 batteries, so that's 2 of these. Put it on this side. We need water in 1, and we need sulfuric acid. No, we just... Why was I reading water? I was reading how to make that. Yep. So that's easy enough then. Thank you, autosave. So we'll just put it up like that. That'll fill these up. Oh, they won't start filling up actually until they get power. For some odd reason that's now required. I mean, makes some sense, I guess. I think they need power and one of the ingredients before they actually start filling up the liquids. So now we need 20 areas to construct these the flying robotic frames. So we'll get these batteries out. They can all go on one side of the belt. And I'm going to need some more underground belts. So I'll head off and get them, and while getting them I'll look at what we need. So we need VEDs, batteries, steel, and the circuits. Okay, so we'll put batteries and circuits on one side and steel and electric engine units on the other. Oop. I added a warning system to see when our coal supply is low, but it's telling us it's low because it's checking that there's less than 10 coal, but it's not actually counting the solid fuel we have there. So I'm actually going to quickly fix that up. So what we want the amount of coal we have, just at 0. We'll just call it signal 0. We also want to count how much solid fuel. There it is. How much solid fuel we have, and we'll also call that 0. Then we'll connect the two outputs, connect it to that line. I like to connect things to small electric poles, or any electric pole really, just so that you can see what the signal is. So now it's not coal anymore, it's signal 0. So you can see that we have 25 units of fuel there basically. Because this isn't actually coal, this is more fuel. Oop, caps lock is on. Fuel supply is low. I'll still keep it with the coal icon, makes it easy to notice. Okay, so we want batteries and circuits together on the closer line, and we want electric engines and steel plates on the further away line. If we put it there, that's where our two lines can go. That's where our output can be. It can be the other side. And that's those two lines. And I'm thinking that this little sign that I made might be in the way. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. Okay. Just wondering if I'd have to take it down. How are we going for time? Whoa, we're already half an hour in. Okay, whoa. That actually took a lot longer than I was thinking. So I'll just quickly finish laying out this and then we'll be done for this episode. So we need 10, so one more. And these are all going to be making our robotic frames. Which means the only thing we haven't made yet are our construction robots. Which actually, yeah, I'll make them as well because they're really simple to make once we have this set up. So actually bring this line from the bottom. This will be our circuit. Actually both our lines will come from the bottom. Because our circuits and our steel plates are down the bottom. Okay. There helps the fuel in the right spot. Thought I fixed up all those, but I missed one. Well, there's nothing else that'll use steel or these reds, so we'll just put them together straight away. And we've still got something else to use our circuits, so I'll actually split them off here. We'll put a splitter there, and then this one can feed this line, and the other one can feed this line. Now the reason I'm making them feed the far away line is because our far away line is going to be fed with red inserters, and red inserters are slower than okay, yeah, that's good. Red inserters are slower than the blue ones, so because we need less of these items, it makes sense to feed them with the slower inserters, and the items that we need more of will feed with the faster inserters. So it's just basically calculating, you know, we need 2 from our outside belt and we need 5 from our inside belt. Actually means we need quite a lot of them and 20 of them. I'll need a few more inserters, so just pick them up from the input to the green science packs. Okay. So we'll put the reds together like this, and we'll put the blues on the other section. This is kind of the design I normally go with for these assembling machines, when we don't need to worry about the middle input. Sometimes even when you do worry about the middle input, the liquids, still do that, but you can't do it with small electric poles. Did I put down more poles over there than I needed to? I may have. Okay. Well, I put from the middle. I mean, if I wanted to be more consistent, I would have outputted from the same spot that the blues are inputting from. But that's fine. So the final step is one last crafting assembling machine. Too much Minecraft saying crafting benches. We'll make a construction robot. Now, is there a good way to feed this? We'll go this way. And the reason why I made this belt go under is because, you know, there's no easy way to make a belt go under that one, going north to south in that setup. It's much easier to go the other direction. So I'll do that. We'll have an output. And we'll go 2 stacks, that should be plenty. And just trim off the extra belts that we don't need. And we need 1 extra belt on this side. Okay, there we go. That is our construction robot production setup. So, what are we going to do next episode? Next episode we've got to get our roboport set up. So, don't think I'm going to actually be doing anything major during the break. Actually no, I'll probably make a single roboport myself, just so that I can start working on the main boss with these new construction robots, and then during the next episode we'll actually go and make all the production to make these roboports automatically. Otherwise, this is JackB1024 signing off. As always, feel free to leave a comment if you've got, you know, questions, comments, queries, just things you want to say, critiques of my recording. We're now at episode 5, and I'm hoping that I'm getting better at this whole recording audio let's play stuff. Let me know what you think, and have a good day.